Hi everyone, so I'm sorry I look like poo, but I have to spray tan like in an hour or so, so I wasn't allowed to wear any kind of makeup today or like any hair products or whatnot. We're actually allowed to wear hair products, but I just thought I was gonna go and rock the not do anything about yourself today look. I just really badly wanted to make this video about the midwife appointment I had 2 days ago. But since Rob had to take the laptop to work, I wasn't able to like edit it if I would normally film it like with my camera. And I really badly wanted to get it up today because I don't have time for the rest of the week to like edit and upload. So I decided to film it on my iPad so I can like straight upload it. But the quality just, meh. So basically I had an update, a midwife appointment on Monday morning, and I had to bring urine so they could check my levels of sugar, like they kind of dip one of those dipsticks in and it discolors, and depending on the discoloration it determines how much sugar is still in your urine. And that's basically everything these went like. I had an appointment at like 8:45 and I was really early because I had to work late and I was just having the most terrible night ever. And I was sitting there and she was like dipping the stick. I just knew, like I could see like the light green and the darker green, like it has multiple, like one of those blocks. And I just saw 2 blocks come up and I was like, oh my god, here we go. And indeed she said, that's a little bit too much sugar than we would have liked for you to have in your urine. It might be a perfectly normal explanation. Maybe you had like a high tea yesterday. And I was like, no, I had one on Saturday. But I did eat very late because I had to work till late. I didn't eat till like 10:15 at night, and I ate a bowl of noodles. So technically my urine wasn't like sour, like, yeah. It's supposed to be 12 hours between your last meal and your urine, I guess. And there wasn't. So that could have something to do with it, but then I stood on the scale and I gained another 3 pounds or something. Which didn't make any sense because up until like Saturday morning, I was exactly the same as I was on my last midwife appointment. So I was like, oh my god, they're gonna be so happy with me. And then like throughout Saturday and Sunday I probably gained like 3 pounds. And by the way, I have lost like 2.5 pounds right now because it's water retention or something like that. I have no idea. I just lost 2 pounds recently after that appointment. But again, she saw it, I gained 3 pounds. She's like, yeah, not too happy about that either. And then she started like doing my blood pressure, which was perfectly normal, and she took some vials of blood just to check for my blood, to check the baby's blood type. So she took my blood to determine which blood type the baby will have, and then will determine whether or not I need to get the Rogan shot. So that was fun because she totally like mutilated my arm. She couldn't find a good vein, like she could find a few that she could really see, but they were really thin, and then she it hurted badly. And then she took some of that blood to actually determine my iron, and that was perfectly fine. So we just have to wait for the results of the Rogan shot, whether I should get that one or not. And then she started like feeling on the belly, and I was like, can you already feel how he is, or is it just too early? Because I know that she says that from like 29 to 30 weeks they should be determined how the baby's like laying. And she was feeling, I have a good feeling he's head down. And she like listened to the heart rate, and the heart rate was really clear down low, so she's pretty sure he's head down. Hopefully he stayed that way. I'm not really sure because last night he wiggled so much I can swear he must have flipped or something, he wiggled so much. But then she started measuring because she was like, well, you are like, compared to like, or if she looked at my results of my measurements last appointment, I was really high. Like I can remember they said my uterus was up a lot more, like almost out of my pelvic area, and just up and way into my rib cage. And she started measuring like where my uterus was at to the top, and she's like, yeah, you're a little bit more than a couple weeks ahead. Now they like to see ahead like maybe 2 weeks tops, and I was like measuring at 32 weeks. Like the room my uterus took up. Like not the baby, but my uterus. Because they think that the baby is still fine because of the last ultrasound. They do assume that the baby is still perfectly fine. And she did mention that I could be having a lot of amniotic fluid, but compared to a lot of weight gain and the positive, or the positive like sugar test, I guess, they want me to do a blood test to determine my sugar levels, which sucks because it basically means that I have to get up like before I ate anything, and then I have to go to the hospital and they take my blood, and then I have to eat breakfast, and then 1.5 hours later I have to go back, and then after that I can have lunch, and then 1.5 hours after that I have to go back again to get another blood draw, and then that should determine that should give them an overview of how my sugar level rises or drops during the day. So yeah, basically after that appointment I was just devastated. It was just too much. Like in the morning before the next appointment, I already told Rob, like, it feels like my life is like going too fast. I cannot keep up with it. I was getting sad because I felt so overwhelmed. And then on top of everything that I was going through with the wedding and mother-in-laws and my grandma being back in the hospital and just being pregnant overall, and just getting more and more tired every day because of that, because I'm just growing. Yeah, on top of that, now I probably am developing gestational diabetes, so I'm like, I was bawling my eyes out, like no freaking joke. I was crying so hard and I was so upset. And I could not calm myself down. Rob couldn't calm me down. And it got to the point where I actually I had opened the car door and I threw up. Even though I didn't even have breakfast yet. I threw up on the side of the road. And at that point I was like, okay, seriously Liz, you gotta stop. You gotta find a way to stop. You'll find a way, okay? Maybe it's just, you ate a bowl of noodles and that triggers the test, and you're just one of those girls that it gets a lot heavier during pregnancy, and it's not the baby that's getting that heavy, but it's you, and maybe it's just a lot of amniotic fluid and the baby is perfectly fine. Because I said the baby is fine, there's nothing that suggests that he isn't fine. And I did want to work even though I was so out of it. And I think halfway throughout my working day, my client goes to bed. And at that point, I started calming down. Really, having control back of everything that was going on. I figured that, I actually heard that my grandma was actually released from the hospital and she was definitely going to make it to the wedding. So that was awesome. And then, so that was a relief. And then I figured that I used to do this diet. I actually think I have a pre-pregnancy weight loss vlog because of it. And basically it's from this book for people who have diabetes and who need to lose weight. So basically people who get diabetes because they're gaining that much or because they're that heavy. So I figured I might as well just do a lot of those meals. And so, because my thought is that I probably am in the process of developing gestational diabetes, but I don't have to be. That's what I'm feeling. That's what I'm thinking. I think I'm just developing it because my body isn't used to that many carbs anymore. Because for the last 2 years before my pregnancy, I cut out most carbs and just went on protein high foods and a lot of exercise. And I think in those 2 years, my body just doesn't. After those 2 years, my body just doesn't know how to process carbs. And especially during pregnancy, you get even more sensitive to carbohydrates. So I think that combination of my body already not being that used to carbs, and then creating an oversensitivity to carbs makes me go down the gestational diabetes road. So I figured I was going to do more of those meals, just less carbs, and Now making sure I get the calories in, but not as much carbs anymore. So we'll see about that. Yeah, I decided to just let it go. You know, I'm watching what I eat, and that's all I can do. And yeah, they gave me a food list of things that how I should be dividing my carbs, and it says like stuff like bread. You're allowed to have like 6 slices of it, and then they say which like the whole wheat and stuff like that. And I'm like, I don't eat 6 slices of bread. I never have. Or potatoes, rice, and stuff like that. You can only have 200 grams. And I'm like, I don't even eat that each day, you know, just like whatever. And then they said like, I don't know, they just give you like the normal food range of how you should be eating. And I'm just like, I eat way less than that. Like I get my carbs or I get my calories in, but not even each day because I just can't. My body's not used to it, and I'm gaining still really fastly. So I don't know. I decided to let it go till after wedding, and then somewhere next week I'm gonna do, or the end of next week I'm gonna do the blood test during the day, and we'll just see. Yeah, I just don't know. So if you have any advice on what to do to cut out more carbs, or it's like, I don't know, if you have like any meal ideas or stuff like that, then leave them in the comments below. And if not, then I will upload my bachelorette / baby shower video probably on Friday, or I have it scheduled for uploading on Friday. And after that, I will probably talk to you guys like next week Friday or something like that. That's basically it. I have to hurry up and get to my spray tanning session. Yay! And I will talk to you guys soon. Bye everyone.